Okay, well, good afternoon, everyone, and happy Thanksgiving Eve. Here it is, the day before Thanksgiving. And just a reminder that we will not be publishing tomorrow, but we will be back on Friday with the daily headlines, the news, all that good stuff. So don't miss us too much tomorrow. And we hope that you spend some time with family or friends or doing whatever it is that you need to do to have a good day off for you. And I know a lot of you are probably also going to make it a long weekend. That's a typical thing. Our offices will be closed on Friday as well, but the news will be running. We want to stay connected with you, and we don't want to miss too much time away from you. So we'll start back up on Friday and continue into the weekend. But we will be pausing tomorrow to observe the Thanksgiving holiday. And before we kind of head out of office here for Thanksgiving from the news desk, I want to reiterate something that for those of you who follow me on LinkedIn saw this morning, and that's just an expression of gratitude that I have toward the people who make it possible for me to do what I do here. Number one, that's you all, the readers, the viewers, the readers, the audience. If it weren't for you, I wouldn't be living my purpose here. So I appreciate you. I can't thank you enough. But I want to share also some thanks for some of our writers and some of the people that make it happen for the news day in and day out right here on workerscompensation.com. So if you haven't seen it, I'm going to call up the post that I put together, because if you're as thankful for those folks as I am for them, then go ahead and follow them on LinkedIn, or send them a connection request or whatever it is. Check out their other work that they do. There's some brilliant minds that write for us, and they do it on a freelance basis. So it's not a full-time job for them. They have other things going on, and those other things are worth your while in terms of what you'll get out of the information that they provide, their expertise, and so on. So let's go ahead and just take a quick look at the people I want to thank, and I can't thank them enough, honestly. And so there we go. We start. This is my post from earlier this morning. I'm not trying to call attention to my post, but I am trying to call attention to the people that I want to thank in there. What can I say? Dr. Claire Musselman is the best. I mean, if you've been following her work here, you know that she's covers so much ground and brings so much knowledge, insight, and expertise, and she's committed to continually learning. And that shows in her writing. It just keeps getting better and better as she continues to grow and learn information and ideas and ways of communicating that help all of us in this space do our jobs better and be better informed people, honestly. So Dr. Claire, huge shout out to you. The only one of our group here that shuns social media is Chris Parker. Chris likes to keep things kind of, low key, I guess, to say, but a great writer, someone that really helps us out with the compliance stories and the sort of, more engaging features. I think What Do You Think is a fun thing that he's really mastered and is probably, well, not probably, I know, is our best What Do You Think writer out there. Comes up with some great cases that have some great fact patterns that allow us to really engage, think about the case, and kind of test our knowledge and our critical thinking when it comes to workers' compensation law. Anne Llewellyn, what an addition this has been to our site. Case management. I've learned so much about case management, and I've really come to see what a vital role it plays in all of workers' comp. It's almost like a foundation that everything else kind of grows out of, and doing it well can really make a huge difference in the life of a worker and their family, as well as in an organization's success as an organization that gets the most out of its people without I don't even know what gets the most out of its people without forgetting that it's people who make it happen, I guess, is the phraseology I want to put my finger on there. And today's was a good example of that, when her piece today was about storytelling and the role that plays in case management is a huge thing. I encourage you to check out her LinkedIn and check out all of her columns on our partner page. There's great information on there that will help you understand case management, certainly, but also workers' compensation at large. Check it out. Chris Swaney. Chris Swaney is one of the best writers I know. Finds sources that always have great experience and expertise, and really are able to bring the context to topics that impact workers, workplaces, and labor across the country. Liz Carey. Now, Liz Carey brings us those stories where, like I say right here, once I think I've heard it all, Liz will drop a story on me that is just like, wow, I didn't see that coming. But it's also, I think, not only is it just a kind of like, oh, hey, that's an interesting thing, let me click on it, but it really, her stories really shine a light on the situation that workers across this country face day after day. And seemingly, and unfortunately, it's becoming sort of the norm now that people are going to have these experiences at work, particularly in certain spaces, retail, airlines, kind of public facing jobs, where you're going to have it's almost normative now that you're going to have these really unpleasant, sometimes dangerous, sometimes violent sort of experiences. And I think by shining a light on some of that, hopefully we'll see that there's a better way to do things for workers. Anyway, and then I would be remiss if I didn't mention Cindy Amato. She's the one that gets us set up in HubSpot so that we can get the newsletter out, the one that brings together our social media so that I can just go in there and plug in content and not get confused about what does what. And she makes things look good for us. She does our ebooks and our graphics and all this great stuff. And I just can't say enough about Cindy, and I can't thank her enough. The expert analysis contributors, there's so many that I would, I would be here all day just writing out expert. You guys know who you are. We have them day in and day out stepping up to the plate to give us their expert analysis. And we can't say enough about them. We're going to have one coming here in a little bit as well. So stay tuned. And then again, like I started this thing, our readers, I say it over and over, and it's not just a sales pitch, but we have the best readers in the workers' compensation space. And I love you guys. Thanks so much for letting me do what I do here. Thanks so much for being a part of this. Thanks so much for your time, and have a very happy Thanksgiving.